Today we're working on adding integers with the same sign. So when adding integers of the same sign, okay, add the absolute values of those integers and then use the same sign for the sum. So in this case we have -5 minus 3. That's the same as if we had said -5 plus a -3. So we put those two numbers together, and 5 plus 3 is 8, and we keep that negative sign. Next, we're looking at this section here, counters. So remember, a negative plus a negative gives us a negative. And a positive plus a positive gives us another positive. And then, so let's look at it. So what does it mean to say 4 plus 3 when we talk about pictures? Well, 4 plus 3 is 4 positives plus 3 positives. So we can actually use those positive signs that you guys have seen me use so often here lately. And when we put them together, I now can say I have 7 positives. Then right next to that, for the next one, we want to say I have 5 negatives and 2 negatives. So that's the same as if I said I have 5 negatives and 2 negatives, and that's going to give me 7 negatives. So for that last one, we're going to do it again. And this one again is negatives. So we have 8 negatives.
Alexis and Olivia Smith, please report to the office. Alexis and Olivia Smith, please come to the office.
Okay. So then we have 4 more negatives. And when we add all those together, we can actually count them. Then we have 12 negatives. Moving down to the next part of the page here, let's practice that theory. So if I have 38 positives plus 5 positives, I say 8 plus 5 gives me 13, carry my 1, and then 3 plus that extra 1 gives me 43. 2 plus 5 gives me 7, and 1 plus 1 gives me 2. So the next thing we have here is a -20 and a -8. We do it the same way. 0 plus 8 is 8, and 2 comes down, and I keep that negative and just put it in there. Even if it's written across, we still do the same thing. 6 plus the 4 gives me a 0. The 1 comes over, right? Oops, excuse me. 1, and then that becomes a 2, and it's a negative. Then 7 plus 3, and I write down the 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then when we do a -9 plus a -14, we add that 9 plus the 4 gives us 13. Carry that 1 over. And then the 1 plus the 1 gives us 2, and then we bring that negative over, and now it's a -23. On the number lines, what we want to do is first we want to solve the equation by using a number line. So we got to number it, figure out where stuff is. So if this is 0, A negative 5 goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right about here. We want to add negative 8 more. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which would be right here. Now we just count it. Negative 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, negative 13. And so our answer is a negative 13. So then on the next one we have adding negatives. We move towards this side. But when we're adding positives, we go the other way. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We add 3. That'll go 1, 2, 3, which would give us 10. And then we're going to add one more, which will give us 11. And our answer is 11. So that was plus the 3 and plus the 1 here, whereas this one, remember we said this can also be written as negative 5 minus 8 more. Negative 5 minus that 8 more. Okay, that's why we just add the numbers together. So here we can put that adding negatives moves us more left, like we saw up here, and adding positives moves us to the right. If you're doing an up and down number line, going more positive makes us go up, and more negative makes us go further down. All right, other side. Which model below has a sum of 6? Look around, let's see what we have. So we take our positives and negatives and we cross them off together. So here's a negative, we mark off a positive. So we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that one is not it. Here we can cross those two out and those two and those two, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's not that one. When we look over here, we say we can cross these two and these two. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. When we look at this one, we got all of these crossed each other out. So the answer here is 0, 8, 4, and this one was the 6. All right, next part down here. Which expression below equals 18? 7 plus 11, 11 minus 7, negative 7 minus 11, or negative 7 plus 11. Well, let's write them the way we know. If we say 7 plus 11, we know that's going to equal 18. If we take 7 away from 11, that's going to give us 4. If we do negative 7 minus 11, we know that means negative 7 plus a negative 11, which gives us a negative 18. And then we have a negative 7 plus 11, and since those two are hard to go together, we do 11 minus 7 and turn it around, and that gives us 4 again. We have an addition property that allows us to swap their places so that we can turn that around and do the subtraction because it's much easier. And now we know A is definitely our answer. Next, which model below has a sum of 5? Again, let's mark them off. I got one here and one here and one down here, so that one is a 1. So that's not it. I have 1, 2, and 1, 2. That leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously that one is a 5. And look and see if we have another one. We have 1, 2, 3 that we can mark off, and 1, 2, 3. This one leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives. And then when we zero pair this one, 1, 2, 3, alright, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives again. So the only one that was a 5 was B. For the last one, which expression below equals 12? 8 plus 4, or 8 minus 4, gives us 8 plus a negative 4, which we know that is that one's just going to be 4. Sorry. Then we have a negative 4 and a negative 8, so we can say negative 4 plus a negative 8 gives us a negative 12. Then we have 12. And then this time we have 4 minus 8 when we turn it around, which gives us a negative 4. Alright, that should do it.